Well, normally we interview all top 3 riders on the podium after moto number 1. We didn't get to Brownie for the reason why. Let's check in with Cameron.
Well, guys, I'm down here on the starting gate for moto number 2, and right behind me is Mike Brown. He said since this morning his stomach has been acting up. In moto number 1, he said he had a tough time even though he was flying. In between motos, he said, hey, I'm feeling better. I'm ready for moto number 2. The 111 by Grant Langston, he had the flu coming in, but now he says, I have no energy for moto number 2. He had some in moto number 1. He's not sure how he's going to do out there. He definitely looked drained and weak. And also want to let you know the 105 KTM, Ryan Hughes, he changed his rear tire. He wants a better start so he can be in the fray earlier in moto number 2.
All right, thank you, Cameron. Bottom line, all the contenders that are chasing James Bubba Stewart are not doing well. As we take a look at the recap of Moto 1, Stewart's 24th career Moto win. Brown's best Moto finish since round number 3, so we'll see if Brownie has anything left in the tank as we take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. And unfortunately for the rest of those guys that Cameron pointed out, James Bubba Stewart is there and he feels just fine.
Well, he had his problems yesterday. It was pretty bad. He bent the bike all up. I think one of those spectators got hurt, from what I heard, and hopefully not, but no, he's going to be okay. But, you know, he rebounded. These guys have to rebound. They've got to be tough. I've seen Langston do it before. I've seen Hughes do it before, and so has Brown.
Moto number 2 from Washougal, Washington, underway now and right to the front. Nice dive in down low is Mike Brown.
Good start for Ryan Hughes. He was hoping to get off to a better start with that tire. It was right behind Brown. Probably 4th or 5th, somewhere up in there, in contact with the leaders, though.
So it's Brownie that takes him into the green flag lap. A huge boost of momentum for him. And if he's not feeling well, that is going to help. Unfortunately, as James Bubba Stewart works his way to the pack, which you know he will, currently now Bubba sits in 10th place. Craig Anderson right now is in 2nd, so number 109 in the Yamaha looking good, and there's Stewart in 10th, number 259. And David, you got to ask the question, is this delaying the inevitable?
Yes. It's just making it more fun, probably. He's going to get a little dirtier this time, but I think he enjoys weaving in and out of everybody. Watch his outside move. He's going to go pin it around the outside. It puts him on the inside of the next corner. It's a great move. The most impressive pass, one of the most impressive ones I've ever seen. Oh! Wait a minute. He just topped it.
Look at the
I don't even know where the heck was I. James has wheelied that whole section. Langston coming off the line. It sore wrist is the clutch hand. He looks over to his right to see what's going on. There goes Brown into the corner with a great start. Everyone gets through there pretty good this time, it looks like, compared to the first moto. But I was talking about
James Bubba Stewart, nice little pass.
I remember what I was talking about, and then I saw James wheelie that step-up section. And like he said, he's not afraid to go fast and take chances, and that was a perfect example. Unbelievable.
Why he changed gears beyond me, because he was never behind anyone, so he never got roosted, but he's got new colors today, and I'm sure Warren will send him a new jersey if he needs one.
And he just likes to change around. And, you know, any of the riders ride for these gear companies, and when I rode for JT back in the day, I wore different things because, you know, you want the company to be able to sell a lot of different products. When Ricky just wears orange, they're like, man, they'd like to get him to wear some other stuff. You know, they're trying to get Stewart to realize, hey, you don't have to win this lap, but I think he's going to try to. He can't stop that momentum. He, like Jeremy Albrecht said, his mechanic, in one of the videos, hey, he goes for it. He never hesitates. Denny Stevenson actually took over for me here last year to do the commentating, and he said, and I loved it, he put it perfectly, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't wait. He goes for it right now, and you're going to get to see some of it.
Michael Burns sitting in 2nd. Look, here comes Bubba on the outside. So Bubba's got the 2 Australians in front of him. An amazing move on the outside. So Burns sits in 2nd, Anderson in 3rd, and that could change, and it does. Stewart now only 5.5 seconds behind our leader. For a guy who was in 10th place not a minute ago, he's now 5 seconds. Right now, let's check in with Cameron Steele, who's with J-Bone.
Well, most mechanics, when their riders have a bad start, they get a little bit concerned. You don't look too concerned.
Yeah, the last few weeks have been pretty good. We've had some starts that weren't so good, and he always moves through the pack really, really good. So I'm not really nervous. Yeah, you ask him about halfway and we're back here like this, then I'll be a little nervous. But he's already up to 3rd, so we're looking good.
Right on.
Thanks.
Jeremy's so cool, man. He's got such a great attitude. Anytime I've ever been around him, he always seems to be pretty funny and keeping things light. Look at that. Okay, just get out of the way.
That's why Jeremy's so light and casual.
Yeah, they grabs the tear off while he's rubbing it in his face. You know, I mean, and Michael Burns, a great rider. I mean, this is the guy that was leading 250 Supercross races at the start of the year and just left a couple inches too much room, and James rode right through there.
Not hesitating, that is the story for James Stewart. How soon till he catches the leader? It's Brown, Stewart, Burnett, Anderson. Back in a moment. 125cc competitor Chad Reed had about enough of rookie phenom James Bubba Stewart by the time the series visited the Pacific Northwest last year. However, neither rider held the early lead as number 104 Shea Bentley led the field. A rough start put Stewart back in the pack, and number 10 Larry Ward took advantage of it, taking over first place for Bentley. Bubba worked his way up and looked ready to charge for the front. However, number 132, Billy Laninovich, in his first outdoor ride of the year, battled with the series leader and relegated him back for a while. Stewart would eventually claim the last spot on the podium, but his 5-moto win streak came to an end as number 10, Larry Ward, won his first moto of the year. In moto number 2, Brandon Jessman grabbed the lead while Bubba came through the pack passing Ward. Stewart's 3-race win streak was in jeopardy if he could not get by the number 28 of Jessman. Stewart once again makes it look easy as he goes by and then coasts home to the checkers and his 6th win of the season.
There you have it.
Well, there you have it. James Stewart winning last year. Right now he sits in 2nd place, but I think, David, if you were a betting man in Vegas, you wouldn't put a whole lot of money on Bubba staying in 2nd for too much longer.
Perfect example right there. Brown comes off the jump, throws it a little bit sideways. James comes over the jump right behind him and really throws it sideways. He just does a little bit more than everybody else. A little bit more style, a little bit more body English, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more motivated. Just whatever you got, he's got just a little bit more, and here it comes.
Mike Brown is the current points leader, but James Bubba Stewart has been absolutely dominating, and he makes it look easy there. So Brownie now sits in 2nd, exactly where he was in moto number 1, and Brown's gone down. Mike Brown goes down in the corner, kind of in a blind spot right there, but he gets right back up. So Brownie's up and riding one more time, but the separation between him and Stewart now is enormous.
2 reasons for that crash as far as I'm concerned. One is you're in the shadows, like I talked about earlier. It's tough to see the rut. The other is, I don't know what he was thinking in the corner before that when James passed him. James, it looked like he just, at that one particular point, sort of conceded, like, okay, well, I'm not going to get him here, so I'll just take this time to pull a tear off. And then Brown went wide, he still got underneath him. So I think his concentration was messed up, and there goes Josh Woods.
Bad news for the KTM Red Bull team. Josh Woods looks like he is done for the afternoon. We'll have to find out what happened there. Meanwhile, out in front, it continues to be James Bubba Stewart. He shot past the points leader, Mike Brown, and for Brown's psyche, that cannot be good. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack now trying to reel in Brownie. No chance of really getting James Bubba Stewart, but they're trying to bring him in as Brandon Jessman makes yet another pass.
Gets by, looks like Brandon, or Michael Brandis right there, and we just got a shot just before that of Tedesco railing that berm at the bottom of the downhill like Stewart did in the opening lap. And now I remember it was Bradshaw that made the most impressive pass right there. Just drugged the handlebar. Now look, James like, I'm probably not going to get him here. I'll pull a tear off. And Brown just looks over like, go ahead. I mean, he didn't fight for that at all. And you know what? That kid's reeling him in the points. He cannot afford to do that anymore. He can hold us to the top of the show. Hey, I got to ride more aggressive, and that certainly wasn't a good example of it. Here's Brandon Jessman working his way through the pack again like he did in the first moto, squaring off Brandis before the big uphill. And Tedesco coming through the whoops here, looks like. Yamaha Troy getting by Brandis as well. So he's moving up through the pack. Tedesco, you know, he has a good moto here and there and hasn't been that consistent, but man, the guy is sure fast.
Right now, let's check in with Cameron Steele.
Well, we talked about it at Unadilla, and now Brock Sellers moving off the track once again. He said it was just a flu and not the Epstein-Barr, but Brock not able to finish moto number 2. Tough break for the Yamaha Troy rider.
He's had a tough time, Todd, with consistency. And
they look good in moto number 1, had a great start.
It's pretty much been like that for the whole Yamaha Troy team. You know, they had a good moto here, and then they can't close the deal, but they're getting there. They've got a new manager there to try to help them focus a little bit better on their preparation for the races as well as their fitness. Jeff Montgomery, nickname Iron, he's over there checking that out, and you know, he's got a lot of talent to work with, but he's definitely got a mess to clean up as well.
Speaking of talent, here's Grant Langston. You can tell he is certainly off the rivet as far as his level of riding usually goes. Langston, who has the wrist injury, he injured his surgically repaired wrist earlier in the day, and a bit of the flu too. So Grant Langston in 7th place. This really is going to hurt him if he can't move up for the points.
Well, he wasn't that far behind Brown. Brown's going to change that around and put some points on him here. He's still ahead of Ryan Hughes. So the only guy he's losing points to right now, the way it stands, is James Stewart. He's still quite a ways back, but I don't know. You know, people are looking at how close he's getting, and
what? Ryan Hughes just goes over, and at first it looked like he hit hay bale, but there's another bike on the side. We're going to have to find out who that is, but there is a rider down, and that's who Ryan Hughes just nailed. It looked like he hit a hay bale, but then you see a wheel in the corner, and it looks like it might be Mike Brown, because Brownie's nowhere in sight.
Well, that's Gosler, I think, going up over the jump. And then,
Michael Byrne goes over. Byrne just missing, and Brown stands up, and look at that. Just cold-cocks him. Ryan Hughes had nowhere to go. Brownie was trying to get out of the way, and Hughes just came over that blind hill and just drilled him.
That was horrible. That's the same jump where Langston went down years ago and caused a little bit of a pile-up. So look at Mitch Payton just going, can you believe this?
We'll come back, sort it all out when we return to Washougal. Welcome back to the Pacific Northwest, Washougal, Washington, for round number 8. And for Brent Myron, Mike Brown's mechanic, the day has just turned terrible. Brownie involved in a horrific accident moments ago where he was hit by Ryan Hughes inadvertently. He was in a blind spot, and they are tending to him right now. It looks like he's moving, so that's a good sign. But let's look at it one more time, David, in real speed.
Well, there's Byrne going up the jump, just misses him to the left. Look at Brown standing there, bam! Oh. That's just, I mean...
And I know they've had bad blood, but there was nothing Hughes could do there.
No, I mean, well, look how bad he crashed.
And the fans giving Mike Brown, he's up and moving, giving Mike Brown a round of applause. Brownie was sitting in second place, so a disastrous day for him. Not only the injury, which I'm sure he sustained something, but the points. And here comes Grant Langston. Here's a guy with a bad wrist, the flu, and he's out there battling for 6th.
Good luck working your way past Tedesco. So I was talking about how fast he is. Langston gets by him. I don't know if that's going to be over with. I don't know if Tedesco's going to let him off the hook that easy or not. But Langston is sure fighting right here. I've seen this guy fight, and I'm seeing it again. He's a little bit like Pastrana in that, you know, you give this guy an injury and he'll limp to the bike and get on and still get the job done. Tedesco looking the wrong way there. He needs to look forward and fight with Langston.
So Grant Langston moves into 5th place with the absence of Brown as the white flag comes out. This really shakes up the point standings. Meanwhile, number 259, James Bubba Stewart, is your leader. Pretty much been there the whole time, had to work his way up from back in the pack, but he has been phenomenal.
Well, you know, it's nothing, all of it's completely out of his control, but when he finds out what happened, that's not that he's going to be happy about it, but it certainly helps him out in the points. There's his dad and his mechanic looking on. It's a good day for James again.
Wow. James is just at a different level. I know everyone wants to push him into the 250 class, but let the man defend his title, and then during the offseason he can figure out what he wants to do.
Well, if he stayed in the 125 Nationals again next year, I think it would be...
Overkill?
Yeah, it'd be overkill. He really needs to move up. I mean, he's so special. And he's already won this title. This is his chance to defend it, and you can't always successfully defend it. You know, just because he didn't doesn't mean he should stay there till he does. I think he belongs in the 250 class. But right now, I mean, there's been some letters and stuff posted here and there about, hey, this is cherry picking, it's ridiculous, put him in the class he belongs in. But, you know, he deserves to be where he is. After the season, though, he does need to move up. The battle for 4th, you can see up there in the corner, is Langston is fighting so hard. Ryno has still got a chance to pick up a decent overall in the day and pick up some points as well. So it's great for KTM, terrible for Pro Circuit. Langston talked about it at the beginning of the show. He goes, you know, the luck, you never know what's going to happen. And that's another example of how motocross, you can never tell.
Well, one thing that is almost always certain, when he enters a race, James Bubba Stewart is odds-on favorite to walk away with a checkered flag, and that's exactly what he's doing in this race. James Stewart Sr.'s got to like it. J-Bone's got to like it. Everyone at Kawasaki's got to love it. And your winner in Moto number 2, number 259, James Bubba Stewart, walking away with yet another checkered flag. And I'll tell you what, it all becomes a matter of mathematics. Can he continue to win? And at this pace, if Mike Brown, Ryan Hughes, and Grant Langston can't keep the pace, James Bubba Stewart will successfully defend that title.
Well, another 1-1 day, so he's a perfect scorer since his return. And now that he's closer in the points, all the mathematics and averaging out stuff is going to change, because him entering the picture is changing the complexion of the nervousness and what happens with these guys. They may not get the average finishes they've been getting up to this point with James so close. And Ryan Hughes trying to hold off Langston through that last whoop section to get a couple points back.
KTM Red Bull have to be happy with their riders. I don't know if they want them so close together with a title on the line, especially since what happened to Brownie. But as they come through, Ryno will just hold off Grant Langston barely. But for Grant Langston, you got to give him the Tough Man Award today. Meanwhile, James is already onto the celebration.
Well, while he celebrates, it's really good fortune for both Langston and Brown to have such a break now before the next round to get healthy again, so they can continue this great fight.
There are the Honda official results. James Stewart picks up yet another victory here in Moto number 2 in Washougal. And we'll have to check in to find out what happened with Mike Brown and how he's going to be. But right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele, who's with our winner.
Well, guys, James Stewart, perfect since he's been back 8 motos in a row, 4 overalls. James, not a great start, though. You had to work for it a little bit.
Yeah, you know, kind of bogged off the gate a little bit, but I made my way up. I got around Brown the second lap, and I don't know what happened to him, but I think he fell up there. But, you know, I'm ready. You know, I'm just feeling good. I ain't getting tired out there, and I'm ready to go to next month. Well, I wish we had 3, so it was great.
You know, Brown going down, Langston have a great finish. It helps you in the points. Are you thinking about it now?
I don't know. I still got to catch up to Ryno for a while, and you know, I guess after today I'm gonna have to think about it. You know, I caught up a lot of points and everything, but you know, I'm just trying to go out there and represent MUCK, and you know, my mom and dad like to thank those guys a lot, and my brother Malcolm, my team Chevy truck Kawasaki, Fox, Oakland, Bridgestone, and everybody. Thanks.
A great job from James Stewart. We'll see how the roll continues when we get to Millville at our next round.
All right, thank you, Cameron. Bubba continues to move up. Grant Langston, as we said, Strongman Award of the day. Absolutely spent. He is out of fluids. He is dehydrated. The flu, the wrist, just compounds us. But he went out there, David, and he battled for 2 hard motos. Ended up getting 5th there in the 2nd moto.
Well, you know, you can look at how he's feeling right now. It's pretty horrible, but he's the points leader now.
As we take a look at our Honda official results, it is Stewart, Hughes, and Byrne going 1, 2, and 3. Right now, let's check in with Cameron Steele. He is caught up with Ryan Hughes, and what a great day for Hughes. Let's get his perspective.
A great ride for you today, Ryan Hughes, the 2nd overall. What happened out there with you and Brown?
Dude, I don't know how he crashed, but I came over the jump, and there was an opening, and I thought he was going to stand where he was at, and I went for it. And I saw him move, and I braked, and I just didn't have enough time because where I was landing was almost right there. And, man, I feel so bad. I mean, you know, everybody knows that we've had our ups and downs, but that does not make me feel good at all, you know. I don't want to do anything like that to anybody, and, you know, I hope he's okay.
Well, there's nothing you do a blind hill like that. You know, I know it's racing, but definitely wearing on you right now.
Yeah, you know, I haven't been riding. You know, this week I didn't ride at all, and it's just, you guys can tell, it's just taking a toll on me. You know, I'm so tired, and it kind of sucks, you know, because I got to give a little to get a little on the track. But, you know, yeah, I mean, 2nd place, I gained some points, and it's not the way I want to, but I gained points on Grant fair and square, so I was happy about that. You know, my Red Bull KTM was running good, so I'm happy.
Right on. Well, the sponsor plugs, everything's good. Ryan Hughes moving up. Great job today, Ryno.
Thank you.
Werner, 7th place moto number 1, 2nd in the 2nd moto, back on the podium. We haven't seen you there since Southwick. Where have you been?
Yeah, no, it's you know, I've had a lot of bad starts over this last few weekends, and you know, and you can't do it from the back of the pack. And you know, if you start outside the top 10, it's real hard to get back up there, and the front guys are always gone. So you know, I've had some good motos here and there, and you know, today I got good starts, and you know, rode smart and consistent.
Great ride. We'll see you at Millville.
Thanks.
Thank you, Cameron. As we take a look at the point standings, Langston is now the points leader, Brown in 2nd, Hughes in 3rd, and look at Bubba Stewart moving all the way up to 4th. Well, Grant Langston is hydrated, cleaned up, and he is now standing by with our Cameron Steele. Cameron.
Well, guys, we've caught up with Grant Langston back in the pits after the 2nd moto. Brutal moto for you. Down on the ground, we couldn't catch up with you. It seems like it's all worth it, though, now taking over the points.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming to this, you know, today, I knew it was going to be a tough day. And, you know, after the first moto, I just didn't feel good. I felt pretty crappy every time I stood up. But, you know, I gave it everything I had. And, you know, the day in a whole was good because I grabbed the points lead. Unfortunately, you know, Brown went down, and actually my trainer was like the first guy over to help him. So he said he's doing all right. You know, just a shoulder came out, I guess. So, you know, I hope he's fit for the next race. I like it to be a good, clean battle to the end.
Well, it should be exciting going through the end of the season. We look forward to watching the battle.
Yeah, you know, we got 4 rounds left. Fortunately, we got a couple of weeks off, so that's going to be great. And then after that, we go to Millville, which is like my favorite track. So I'm looking forward to that.
Right on. We'll see you there.
Thank you.
Good effort by Grant Langston. And, you know, I really appreciate his sportsmanship and also from Ryan Hughes. And maybe Mike Brown, I hope he's going to do well. He's got a few weeks now before Millville. I think he might race better from behind. And we're going to continue to see plenty more of this, I would assume.